watched all the episodes though, bro. Like at this point, I was just like rehearsing with them, bro.
Bro, what the fuck happened to my game? Like straight up, the controller just stopped working. Like straight up, it's just not working. Maybe I drove this truck too much. I guess that's a sign. Man, I don't want to play this. What the fuck? Yeah.
You see that big ass sword?
I have no idea, bro. I don't know. I'm just gonna play something else. I don't even feel like trying to fix it. Let's play some, no, we gonna box. Everybody don't fight your mode anyway. I can't play this shit with no goddamn controller.
What the hell? She just turned into something. Yo, this game is crazy. Yeah, it's so cinematic, bro. It's actually tough. Like the first character though, it's still some bugs.
I'm setting this shit up just to lose again. Sorry though. Gotta play to learn, man. You gotta play to get better at it.
I'm trying to do the full. Get up! Bro, this is irritating, bro. Like, that's gonna irritate me so bad, bro. Oh my god, bro. It's gonna irritate me so bad. Oh my gosh. It's like, when you already lose your character lays on the floor in defeat as the nigga stands over top of you, that is, I don't want to lose. Like, that is like,
Oh, ain't like nobody boxing tonight? Nobody boxing tonight? There we go. I want to say, what the fuck? Look at that nigga.
Her name, oh my god.
If I ain't gave me a box back in
Valentine. I'm only calling her Valentine. I don't care about her first name.
It's time for the talking to stop and the fighting to start. This should be good. I'm Todd Grisham. Alongside me, former world champion Johnny Nelson. The pleasure's always mine.
I like it.
Saul Canelo Alvarez, a 4-division five-time
They
world
finally gave me
champion.
one action. I mean, I ain't gonna say man, but this dude right here, way longer arms.
This bout is scheduled.
He look like he's fast too.
A lot of trash talk between these two fighters. Now it's time to put up or shut up.
This is one of my favorite venues.
This is one of my favorite venues.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. Here we go.
Oh, it's short. Alright, here we go.
We're expecting an all-out offensive display. Every time he throws a punch, a receipt is coming right back. Got him there. Someone tell these two that they can be defensive for a minute if they want to.
Trying to take my head off.
What a pleasure to be in this unique environment. Every seat has been taken for tonight's match.
We have some fighters that are big show, big arena fighters, and they bask in this, they love this, they are born for this. You have other fighters that this would be like a rabbit in the headlights. Tap for tap, just like a match made in heaven.
The courage on display here is incredible.
Nigga is trying to knock my head off.
This fighter's completely content to sit back and let you make the first move. That's where they thrive. To beat the top. Oh, Jimmy, out of nowhere, look at this. We've never seen Canelo in this sort of trouble.
Oh my.
And apparently no rest for the weary. Thought about taking a break. Pull it right there. Canelo out. A big, heavy blow.
Fuck, this nigga just stuck through power shots the whole time.
In this fight, and it failed him miserably.
Shot from the guts, they say. A shot from the guts.
So it's onward and upward after a...
That was quite disappointing. That was very disappointing, actually. I mean, literally, he just walked in and just threw a bunch of haymakers, and they all landed like where they needed to land. And he knocked me out first round. Wow. 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 That was just quite disappointing. You gonna try to do that again, but that was quite disappointing.
Oh yeah, this is me. I know you took it.
My nigga started spelling a whole song, that motherfucker. Of course, I gotta fight Manny Pacquiao after I got whooped the first game. Alright, come on, let's try again.
I hate my life at GTA and Roblox and Fortnite.
Yo, why do these niggas keep hitting me with these pop shots that I'm not? They just literally keep doing it. Like, it's really annoying.
Okay, alright.
Uh-oh. It's actually like a pretty good round for me right there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Calm yourself down. Calm yourself down. Come on, breathe.
Oh my god. Man, that's so fucking gay, yo. This game is like pissing me off now. That's two straight. It's not pissing me off now. And I won the first round. I mean, that's a start. just threw a rack of power shots, Joe. He just threw a bunch of them joints. I only threw 6. He threw 20. He threw 49 power shots.
You talking about a refrigerator? What even is that, bro? We came with a shipping container. Huh? There's no way she just moves her head. She moves her head.
That shit wild to me, bro.
Oh, turn off this. Yo, these designs are so tough, bro.
That's crazy to me, bro.
Okay. Oh my god, look how much damage he does. Yo, I'm cooked. No. Yo, what is that?
That's a blow right there.
Oh my god. That shit is gay. Hey, bro. He looked like he's supposed to grab niggas and shit. He looked like he meant to fucking break down buildings. Like, what are you talking about? Man, he want to pick buildings up. He don't even care about people. He want to pick something bigger. He wants to be an ant, bro. He wants to pick up stuff bigger than him, bro. His arms is bigger than him, bro. Jesus, he probably was picking up his mom when he was
That's
on
crazy. Yeah, I clipped it, but that's crazy.
Nigga came out with hands first, like literally crawling.
The game is crazy.
Literally crawling.
I guess I'm just not ready. I guess I don't know how to play well enough to get online right away. It's like I need to figure out what's up with these power punches. I don't know. Jake lo mata. The computer plays totally different from the people. Like I feel like I'm going backwards playing the computer for some reason. I'm not saying like I can even beat the computer all consistently, but they just play different.
She had first.
See, there's not nothing like the goddamn niggas online. Like you wouldn't sit around like that.
Don't be looking there for one shot at a time. Set him up, but you'll take him out.
Shut up.
He's ready to go.
Shut it up and take you out.
Oh my gosh. I think I found it. Okay. I think I found it. Already, I just like the character design. Your mom did this. Alright. Don't even give a noob a chance, huh? You little fucking noob. Alright. You gonna keep crashing in the boat? Put some dirty. Put some dirty around. Damn, like, can I fucking do the moves? Can I, like, sit on the board? Damn. Yes. He just let those.
Damn, we slept right past that, Joe. That was what I'm talking.
What was that? What are you doing? Come on, you're switching off. I need you to switch back on. Get focused. Get your mind back on the job. Get back out there.
What do I do?
Good work. Now that's it. Now free.
Man, he start throwing his hands all wild, man. connected with a power punch. Yeah. That was good. See, I'm just draining my stamina, going down and
Don't worry
down.
about that round. Don't worry about it. Let's go out there. Let's reset. Forget about that round. It was a
Forgot about that round.
like that round. Good round. You feel good?
Shut up, bitch.
You can spin the flash stuff. That is great. That's the way people die on Vader. That's the way people die on Vader. What? Like I'm like, bro. It's like no way you can block this shit. Just spin everything, bro. This character is so weird. He's so good. These guys are spinning though. Yeah, you are spinning. What are you talking about? You're like just like look, boom, counter. You're ASSS counter.
Listen, you switched off. What are you doing? You got complacent. The fight's not over yet. You got to go out there and win this round. You had everything.
Like, Jesus, there's no point of him moving. I see why they took Dash away from him. He, like, first his body is big as fuck. Like, bro. Yeah, bro. No, you didn't, bro. You just looking like, oh. That is so tight.
I had to do that round.
Okay, now you're switching off. I need you to go back out there. And you
What?
win this round. Get your mind back.
You say the same thing every fucking round, bro. I'm starting to not believe this, man. I'm thinking he's just saying shit at this
That
point.
jab slick. To win the round, right? It's only one round that you've lost. Don't worry about.
Pulling back in the fight. Right round.
Just keep them on the other end of that jet.
Come on, you've let him back into the fight. You're much better than this guy. You're much better. He's not in your league. Come on, switch on.
He's
Get your
not
boxing
in
back
your
together
league.
And put it
For that one shot or anything. Set him up and you'll take him
there.
out.
Get your boxing back together.
Shut up.
Listen,
But I am mad tired though. I always run out of stamina when I play the computer.
Actually, man. Don't worry about it. So now, first, downright, China. Unless you don't have your 12 days. Is that moose? He's actually like a freak. I did not know you could do that.
Come on, you're better than that. You've done all your work all the way through camp. You've been coasting this fight, and now you've let him get back into it. Now it's a tougher fight, and he's going to be
Great round, great round. Now relax, relax.
Bruh. I've not won one round since the first round. I got nothing left in the tank.
Probably not like, is that not broken?
What are you doing?
Now shut up. I got no more stamina.
You don't want to lose this fight, do you?
I'm beating him, but his stamina is.
Great work. I love that. I love
Well,
that.
yeah, but I'm actually beating him on the power. I got no more stamina. This nigga won't swing it. Oh, I know I'm not swinging. I'm not sure why he not.
I like this game. Let's see how long it lasts.
No. Yeah, he beat me every round. I almost knocked him out though.
God. It's such a big difference with all this blood just leaving my body, man.
So great, yo.
All alone, with fortresses made of stone, with just palaces made out of flesh and bone, waiting for our time to shine to
Why
come
did I do
home. Lord, please bless my castle of sand, waiting on the battle, so a handle all in my hand. The war force is more toward my door with demands, more important than the fortune that you brought in my pan. From freestyling to recording advance, can you please reinforce all my borders and bands? I should've put it on some plans. Want a forest, gotta water some plants. Normally ignoring the branch, par for the course, but when you hold a culture, you can't. Can't parkour over a part, you gotta march forth over your art and for your fans. When you corner, gotta shorten your stance, lessen your tails, Philly shell, don't over the dance. You hit a bell, then report to the band and do whatever that the chorus commands. And for the grand, talented, all alone, with fortresses made of stone, with just palaces made out of flesh and bone. Waiting for our time to shine to come home. Lord, please bless my mansion of cards. If ever challenged, let us camp in a car. Or hang a hammock from a branch in the park. A planet made of uninhabited parts. Being anonymous, don't grant you some dark. Even astronomers keep a camera on Mars. Satellite to track where you are and see your blackest night attacking with sparks.
You won? How, man? Come on, bro. I won the last round. Did I not? Did I not win the last round? I didn't? Interesting. So wait, how? It was not 3 rounds. It was 2 rounds, bro. Right. So if I won 1, you won 1. How is that possible? How? If you only played 2 rounds, what are we talking about, bro? You only played 2 rounds. Exactly. So how did you? Okay. Bro, we only played 2 rounds. We played. That's why I was confused because we did it. Okay, so where's the 3rd round? That wasn't even our third one. That was two. Oh my god. Yeah, this game is doo-doo, bro.
Yeah, Lord, please bless my palace of bones. My
No.
soul put a skeleton home, it's on the phone.
I knew that
Get
girl
a
had a
receipt
lot
back
on
to
it.
Tyrone.
And
Make a
everybody
pack,
keep looking at me
going
like
back
I'm
home.
screwed.
Yeah, pack my bag, stagger back to the zone. With a bag full of daggers I've thrown. I'm like my own masochist, slash my wrist with a poem. And when I'm gone, don't tamper with a sample my songs unless you're strong. Buy some emojis in the group chat. 5 cents of burpees don't disturb me if the booth black. Going through it, got a bunch of baggage on my roof rack. I have a lot of habits that produce that. They gon' put their tag on it. My condolences in the fast moments. Hope the solar system assists my slow emission and put some lag on it. Went on to my soul parent
Why is it
inside.
not
The
working?
crack where my spirit
It's not
resides.
working.
Lyrics are
It's
died.
not working. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing different? What am I doing different? Like, okay. Alright, that move is just bad. That move is just bad. Like, what? Okay, bro. Because I was just doing that. Like, I was just like... I'm gonna fit my whole fist in my mouth, bro, and then
Wow.
open my hand, bro. Oh my god. Damn. God damn. Wait, hold on. I need to see what I'm doing wrong. Okay, boom. Okay, that's good. So hold. Okay, that's what I wasn't doing. I told her to go to sleep. What? Girl, go to sleep, bro. You in the same room as him already, bro. Go to sleep, bro.
We've lost.
Trina, stop
Replicants.
spamming that
They
word,
keep
bro.
taking it all.
Golly.
What?
I don't know what this is.
How much longer? Until we have nothing. Until we are nothing.
No shit.
She said, oh.
The old world forever fights to come back.
What's that about?
Wait, hold on. Give me a
Humans
second.
want what was taken from them.
I'm on live. This movie does nothing for me to want to watch.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
It is our time now.
Okay, Blade
Close
Runner.
enough, yeah. Nope, you're not. Close enough, yeah. Come here. Jump. Dash. Yep, come here.
Nah, I don't want to see this commercial again. I mean, trailer again. I'm ready for it. I'm ready with that joint, though.
Corner sit. Jump. Corner sit.
For the next 3 days, I'm going to be trying to grow as much as possible on Twitch. My dream for years has been to become a full-time streamer, and in this video, I recorded my first month of me going live on Twitch, and the progress is absolutely insane. In this video, I start with absolutely 0 followers on Twitch, less than 100
this to find out why Nolan Wells is no longer with us. That much is true. Whereas we can't definitively point guilt in the direction of any specific individual at this time, we can simply say this seems very fishy, very shady, something.
Stephen A. Smith believes that something really bad happened to Nolan Wells.
Man, I hate the way he does it. I really can't take it.
Okay. Yep. Yo, you are playing the easiest.
Most people don't know that the founder of Pokemon Go Most people don't know that the founder of Pokemon Go, John Hanke, received funding from In-Q-Tel, which is the venture capital firm created by the CIA. And while you and your friends were walking around your city, scanning the earth to catch your favorite Pokemon, the game's developer, Niantic Incorporated, was collecting all that data and using it to build advanced 3D maps to facilitate military attacks on third world countries. You see, Pokemon Go was created by the same guy who essentially created Google Earth. John Hanke was the co-founder of Keyhole, which developed a 3D digital mapping program called Earth Viewer. Keyhole's Earth Viewer 3D client application uses video game-like 3D graphics and access to massive databases of network-hosted Earth information, including satellite imagery and aerial photography, to produce an interactive digital model of the Earth. The product was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before in the early 2000s, but it was unclear what its use case would be, and therefore Keyhole was bleeding money. Every few months for years, John would find himself scrambling to raise money from Silicon Valley investors to keep the lights on. That was until In-Q-Tel saved his company from going under.
Then we got really a lifeline from a kind of unusual source. In-Q-Tel was this new little venture capital firm that was basically a government VC firm with money from the intelligence community. So that was one of the few funds in the valley that was doing real business, and they were making a lot of investments at the time. This was in the kind of post 9/11 security ramp up period, and so they found out about our technology and invested in
so much more popcorn.
Thanks to In-Q-Tel's funding, Keyhole was supplying technology to troops in Iraq and the Pentagon, and they ultimately became a profitable company due to the massive amount of government contracts rolling in. Shortly after, Keyhole was acquired by Google in 2004, and they turned this technology into what we now know as Google Earth. After Google's acquisition, John Hanke became the vice president of product management for the company's Geo division, where he oversaw products like Google Earth and Maps. Google Earth was revolutionary because it gave everyone access to detailed satellite imagery of nearly the entire planet from a home computer. You could explore unfamiliar cities, inspect neighborhoods before moving, and plan trips, but they quickly realized it was far more powerful.
Get how much power was just put into the hands of like everybody when the internet was developing. This shit is all brand new, especially in this time. It's still brand new. He's still trying. He's still coming up with new ways to. It's still brand new.
And that, humanitarian organizations began using it to coordinate disaster relief. Scientists. monitored deforestation and climate change. Archaeologists used it to discover previously unknown ruins. Journalists investigated war zones, and governments used it because it was better than anything they had access to.
The product ended up being used in ways that we never anticipated. I guess I'll just say it that way. When Katrina happened in New Orleans, the Coast Guard was using Google Earth and Craigslist to basically find where people were trapped and send helicopters in to
How the
rescue
heck
them.
did Craigslist?
Kind of
How
crazy.
did-
You
how
would
did
think, well, the
Craigslist
government,
help?
they've got lots of sophisticated software, but as it turns out, web software that's available that already has the data in it, it's ready, easy to use. A breakthrough, really.
But after working for 6 years inside Google's corporate ecosystem, Hankey wanted the freedom to combine everything he'd learned about digital maps and augmented reality to create a video game. Now, if you ask me, that seems like a crazy career change. Technically, the foundation of John's EarthViewer product started in college while working with his classmates on an open-world video game idea. But he knew the technology had much more potential, and it did. So after changing the world with his vision, creating a CIA-funded startup for military operations, and then getting acquired by a tech giant, going back to being a video game developer seems like a massive career and lifestyle change. That is, unless it was part of a larger plan. Google actually did not want John Hankey to leave the company. For whatever reason, they felt that his video game idea might become valuable to them in the future, so they convinced him to create Niantic Labs as an autonomous unit inside of Google. Basically, they gave him the freedom of creating a startup, but using all of Google's resources inside of Google's walls. If it failed, Google would get their employee back, and if it succeeded, then Google could be an early investor or part owner of a major video game innovation. Niantic's first major product was an app called Field Trip, a virtual tour guide that analyzed the user's location, provided suggestions for nearby landmarks to visit, and offered information about the area. It wasn't much of a game, but it laid the foundation for their next big project called Ingress. Launched in 2012, Ingress was an augmented reality mobile game that prompts users to explore their neighborhoods and locate portals at nearby landmarks. This was quite literally the same idea as Pokemon Go. Those who played it were intoxicated by the addictive gameplay loop, although it failed to pull in a large player base even years after its release. Luckily for Niantic, one of the game's players would prove to be an invaluable asset with direct ties to the Pokemon company. But real quick, I'm sure you have all connected to public Wi-Fi at some point, at your airport or your local coffee shop, and every time you do, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to cyber attacks. Secures unlimited devices. Stop leaving yourself vulnerable online and go to surfshark.com/PatrickCC and use code PatrickCC to sign up now with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks, Surfshark. A Japanese Google Maps engineer named Tetsuo Nomura pitched the idea of placing Pokemon inside of Google Maps as an April Fool's joke. He traveled to Japan and got direct permission from the Pokemon Company to implement the feature. John Hankey asked Nomura to show the Pokemon Company's executive board the Ingress game. Little did they know that the president of the Pokemon Company was already a massive fan of the game, and because of this, Niantic was able to secure a partnership with Nintendo and create Pokemon Go. They launched the game on July 6, 2016, but they never could have anticipated the chaos that would come next. In just 2 months after its release, the app was downloaded over 500 million times, and an estimated 21 million players logged in every single day on average. Not only had it surpassed the success of mobile games like Candy Crush or Clash Royale, but it was pulling in more engagement than websites like Twitter and Facebook. The concept was simple. You walked around your neighborhood and searched for virtual Pokemon. When you found one, the game used your phone's camera to make it look like the Pokemon was right in front of you, and you used Pokeballs to catch them and add them to your collection. The game incentivized users to explore the world around them, offering various digital Pokestops at notable locations or landmarks. These Pokestops served as a hub to collect in-game items and use special lures to attract more Pokemon. This also included Pokemon gyms. Players selected from one of 3 teams and would compete with rival Pokemon hunters to control areas to earn Pokecoins and buy upgrades. Pokemon Go wasn't just another mobile video game. It transformed your local neighborhood into a fantasy world. This is why it became a cultural phenomenon almost instantly. Public parks were overflowing with players searching for rare Pokemon. Restaurants and stores used nearby Pokestops to advertise their businesses, and content creators were racking up millions of views just by playing the game. The game skyrocketed into mainstream pop culture, becoming a topic of discussion on late-night television shows, and was infamously referenced by Hillary Clinton during her 2016 presidential campaign.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
It's safe to say Pokemon Go was taking over the world, but it wasn't just making headlines for its record-breaking numbers. It was also being linked to real-world accidents, life-altering injuries, and even deaths. Only days after the game's release, 2 men were hospitalized while playing Pokemon Go. They hopped a fence to get access to a Pokemon on the other side, ignoring a sign warning pedestrians of the unstable ground on a nearby cliff, which both men eventually fell down. The players sustained serious injuries, but fortunately survived. Others were not so lucky. A truck driver in Japan hit 2 women while playing Pokemon Go, severely injuring one and killing the other. Players of the game began to find themselves in increasingly dangerous situations as both drivers and pedestrians were getting distracted by the app. The more people became immersed in the world of Pokemon, they lost touch with the world around them. Players began disrupting religious services and funerals. The Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. asked people to stop playing the game inside of their establishment. Players were also being disruptive at the Arlington National Cemetery, causing problems for grieving families and members of the military paying their respects. As you can imagine, after Pokemon Go exploded in popularity, the video game industry became extremely interested in learning more about the developers. John Hanke of Niantic Labs was interviewed in front of a live audience at TechCrunch in San Francisco and seemed like he could not be less interested.
First, and most importantly, what team are you on?
I'm yellow. I'm all about the yellow. Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Team Instinct, anyone out there?
Yeah.
Team Instinct, there we go. I'm not going to try and button that back up on stage.
It's crazy that the creator of the game couldn't even properly answer the question, what team are you? Which refers to one of the 3 factions players can join once they reach level 5. Team Valor, which is red, Team Mystic, which is blue, or Team Instinct, which is yellow. He just said, the yellow one. The interviewer was clearly a massive Pokemon fan, and Hanke seemed like the total opposite. It was disappointing to players that the most viral game of 2016 surrounding one of the most beloved IPs of all time was being spearheaded by a boring corporate suit. But what was particularly interesting was his insights on working with governments before they launched the game in different countries.
Because he didn't realize he was blowing niggas up. His conscience now, like he Oppenheimer.
Do you know what the next rollout country is going to be?
I have a pretty good idea, but it is pending getting things squared away on the government relations side and getting everything prepared, so I can't say right now.
Nigga, we talking about a game, and it shit sound like he talking about
we didn't
spy
really anticipate
shit.
the level to which it would attract interest from government people and policy people and things like that, but that's become part of the dialogue at this point, so we're getting, more well-versed in those skills.
Now, we don't really know what interests governments had with the game. Now, I'd imagine governments had obvious concerns, like tens of thousands of people gathering in parks, people blindly walking into traffic, etc. But Hanke didn't use the word concerns. He said interests. Another thing to note was that South Korea refused to let Google export its detailed government map data to foreign servers out of fear that it could expose military bases and other sensitive locations to North Korea, which made Pokemon Go nearly impossible to launch across most of South Korea. China also heavily regulates foreign access to geographic...
They can't even, man, they have none of that shit. Not over there in South Korea, boy. It'll chop your fingers off.
Data and blocked Google Maps entirely because it considers detailed mapping a matter of national security. In other words, while most players saw Pokemon Go as a harmless mobile game, entire governments were already treating the data underneath it like a potentially dangerous military asset. The question is, did Niantic Labs know that they were wielding a dangerous military asset? Well, there was this one controversy that came up where iPhone users discovered that signing in through Google gave Niantic full access to their accounts. Per Google's own description, this meant access to both view and modify anything in the account. To many, they believed that this meant unfiltered access to their images, videos, and emails, although it wasn't that simple.
I don't play a game to get exercise,
my nigga. Access to the user's IDs and email addresses. Google personally verified that no additional information was given to the company. So since Niantic couldn't steal the data just by someone making an account, they had to trick users into giving it up for free. And what resulted was one of the most ambitious geospatial data collection projects ever hidden behind a mobile game, one whose technology would later facilitate devastating military operations.
God damn,
4 years after the game's release,
all y'all
Niantic
niggas
introduced an interesting new feature. AR mapping tasks. Pokestops marked by notable landmarks
Fucking
would now offer
Pokestops.
users rewards if they completed AR scanning prompts. These require
Damn.
players to scan the surrounding area with their phone's camera for about 20 to 30 seconds.
Oh, they just getting
Interesting,
straight
this feature was not
motherfucking
available
intel.
for children's accounts. From the player's perspective, the feature was relatively harmless. They had already become accustomed to Pokemon Go tracking their location and having access to their cameras. So when Niantic offered free rewards with the promise of
all
game
these
improvements,
fucking
players
dweebs
were
just
eager to
went
take
ahead
part.
and signed
Niantic
on up.
claimed that the data
Man, come on,
collected
let's
would
do it.
inform the game's engine to understand the depth and complexity of the real world. This would make for a way more immersive
Full fucking
experience in which
Bulbasaur.
virtual
Hell yeah.
objects could seamlessly integrate with the world around them. In hindsight, it seems like an evil genius plan.
Yeah, it is
The
a
man who
evil
created
genius plan. It's
Google
cool,
Earth
too.
and worked directly with the
It's fucking
CIA
crazy,
and
but
international intelligence
Dr.
organizations
Evil
was
type
getting
shit.
people to voluntarily 3D scan the world around them while they think they're just helping Niantic make a better Pokemon game. These
Nope.
scans would help develop a much larger technology called Lightship VPS, which stands
Damn,
for
so
Visual
many
Positioning
companies
System.
bought
The
this
satellite-based
information.
technology.
Damn, bro. That's fucking crazy. Millions of people straight was just scanning everything, building the entire AR world for them. Everything. Everybody.
Technology of GPS was useful, but not optimized for the best augmented reality experience.
Right.
For example, it might be able to tell you that you're near a statue, but it's typically incapable of understanding where you are relative to the landmark, whether you are
Unless
behind
you-
it or in front of it, if you are 3 feet away or 30 feet
Not
away.
if you
This information
fucking-
isn't important when getting general directions for a road trip, but when it comes to making accurate drone strikes on enemy
Oh
base
my
camps
God,
without
Joe.
harming innocent
This nigga
civilians,
say
it can
drone
make a
strike.
massive difference. When players scanned a landmark, they recorded more than just a video. It tracked
they
the
got a full
latitude,
3D
longitude, and
image.
altitude of the user's device. It also utilized the phone's accelerometer and gyroscope, allowing the system to consider the phone's position and orientation.
Oh,
Considering
fuck.
all of this data, the scans could be used to make reliable inferences about the user's distance from both the landmark itself and the surrounding environment. Every scan submitted was unique, taken at different angles, positions,
God
and distances.
damn.
Each video was divided into approximately 300 individual images, all of which were pieced together
To
with
make
other scans
one
to create
big-
a full 3D digital
Yeah,
map of
3D
the
model.
area. Essentially, Niantic was creating the world's largest, most detailed 3D scan of the entire world. And Pokemon Go players
Oh
were
my
helping for
God.
the most innocent intentions. VPS could compare the player's live footage against this virtual world to determine the player's exact location, which helped influence where objects and Pokemon would be anchored within the real world. Think about how NPCs in Grand Theft Auto sometimes mindlessly walk around with no intention or logic applied to them. Pokemon Go was similar initially, but with this new technology, the Pokemon could now be programmed to interact with their
Hide with their
surroundings. Instead of
surroundings
being
and
mindlessly
move.
placed on the ground, they would be able to hide behind the landmarks or even climb on top of them. Put simply, the goal of this technology was to make a near-perfect replica of the world the way that humans would experience it, so that the Pokemon in the game could literally interact with the world the same way a human might. And players were willing to sacrifice 30 seconds of their day if it meant free rewards and a better experience down the line. And by November of 2022, Niantic revealed
shit
that they had
crazy,
developed more
actually.
than
When you listen to them
120,000
break this
digital
shit
maps
down,
of
it's
various
crazy. This is
locations
fucking
throughout the
crazy.
globe. But technology this powerful would be wasted if it were only used for Pokemon Go. And Niantic understood this deeply. While they stated their goal was always to give people tools to become 21st century explorers, it felt like they were leaving a
Damn.
massive opportunity on the table. But VPS also had a major limitation. The system was only able to recognize information it had already been given. If a landmark had only been scanned from the front, the model would not be as effective when used from behind. And if it had received no prior information on a landmark, there was nothing the model could work with to provide an immersive experience. They had now gathered enough data for 1 million different waypoint locations to have full VPS integrations, but there were still millions of locations that had not been fully scanned. Niantic sought to fix this issue with their large geospatial model announced in 2024. The goal was to take all of the combined data they had collected and use AI to make inferred guesses about partially unscanned locations. Niantic uses a church as an example. If players had only scanned the front of a particular church, the VPS technology might be unable to recognize footage taken from behind, but the large geospatial model could infer based on thousands of other churches that had been fully scanned and make an educated prediction about what the back of that specific church would actually look like. Humans have the ability to do this naturally. We are capable of applying our personal lived experience to make inferences about our environment. If I showed you the front of a house, you could probably make a pretty good guess about what the back of it looks like. You might not get every detail right, but you'd expect windows in roughly the same places, a back door, maybe an AC unit, a fence, or a patio. Your brain does not know that specific house. It's recognizing patterns from thousands of houses you've seen before. Niantic wanted AI to learn that same instinct, but with near perfect precision. And only months after announcing their large geospatial model, Niantic made the shocking decision to sell Pokemon Go. While Scopely Incorporated acquired the rights to Niantic's catalog of games for $3.5 billion, Niantic retained all of the data, research, and technology they had been developing over the last decade, which includes their VPS and geospatial models. In other words, they kept their most valuable IP, sold the rest of their got the data, and were ready to move on, leaving Pokemon in the dust, which to some makes it seem like they never cared about Pokemon in the first place, and it was all a part of a bigger operation. The company shifted its focus away from video game development, and under the leadership of John Hanke, began working on Niantic Spatial. The company made it clear this technology had far more potential than improving augmented reality experiences. It had the ability to help both humans and machines to understand the world and navigate it. Instead of figuring out where to spawn Pokemon, the technology could be used to train a robot or AI-powered vehicles to determine their locations without the use of GPS. Like, you know how outside of your town, you don't really know where you're going or where you are, but thankfully you have access to GPS on your phone. Well, they're working on a technology for machines, robots, or vehicles that would essentially install a perfect one-to-one understanding of the entire world. So you could theoretically place it anywhere and it'll know exactly where it is and exactly how to get where it needs to go in the fastest way possible. And initially, this tool was being marketed as something that could enhance manufacturing, warehousing, logistics, construction, tourism, entertainment, and education. Like a warehouse worker could use the VPS technology to navigate the facility and streamline the process of conducting inventory management instead of just like walking around the building and understanding where things are and where they need to go. But Niantic was also getting involved in areas that most might not have expected. This became clear when Niantic Spatial announced it was teaming up with a company called Vanter in December of 2025. While Niantic had its roots in the gaming industry, Vanter had always been a part of the intelligence and defense sectors. They are best known for creating mapping systems used by military commanders and soldiers to analyze the battlefield and coordinate. This partnership may seem bizarre on the surface, but it was actually a perfect match. Vanter had developed a visual positioning system called Raptor. Similar to VPS, Raptor was capable of determining its location by analyzing its environment and making inferences. When a drone became disconnected from GPS signal, it could utilize Raptor to assess the roads, buildings, and hills to figure out its position relative to Vanter's own personal map. However, the technology was relatively limited as it gathered data from airborne drone footage, meaning its pool of data was limited to the sky. This is where the partnership really starts to make sense. VPS system did everything Raptor did, but on the ground floor. Specifically, it gave the same tools to both troops on the ground as well as AI-controlled robots and vehicles. With Vanter in the sky and Niantic on the ground, the two companies hope to create a shared digital map that can be used by drones, vehicles, and people with or without the use of GPS to stay connected. Was Niantic developing weapons or making decisions in regards to active combat? No, but they were playing a role that is arguably just as important. They were helping AI-powered drones understand where they were and help them stay coordinated with personnel on the ground. Technology originally marketed as a way to make your Pokemon catching experience more immersive was now helping drones, vehicles, and soldiers coordinate on the battlefield. Niantic has continued to become a more prominent part of the defense sector. Recently, the visual positioning system received awardable status through a federal marketplace, Tradewin Solutions, meaning that government agencies were able to negotiate deals and purchase the technology for their own use. And taking a look at Niantic Spatial's website, website, they appear to have struck deals with the United States Coast Guard and the Air Force. So this isn't some kind of crazy conspiracy theory. The data they gathered through Pokemon Go was used to develop mapping technology that is literally being used by the military. I'm not sure how many Pokemon Go players who agreed to participate in AR scanning would have done so knowing that this was going to be used for the military, which is why now tons of players feel like they were straight up lied to. When Niantic first introduced the AR scanning feature, the company was transparent about their intentions to an extent. It told players that these scans would be used to create a better gaming experience, and while they did make it clear that this data would be used in apps outside of Pokemon Go, I'm not sure if anyone expected military defense applications, which is why it seems as though this was always the purpose of creating this technology. When you think about it, Niantic was never really a game developer. They have always been a mapping company. Think about their origins. John Hankey's first business, Keyhole, had direct ties to the CIA, and he later went on to work a high-value job in Google's Geo division. He always has been aware of the massive price tag governments are willing to place on data, and with Pokemon Go, Niantic had access to information that wasn't available anywhere else. Pokemon Go was meant to be a family-friendly experience. It drew players in with the promise of getting to be fully immersed into a core part of their childhood in a way they never could before. It was also a defining part of many of Gen Z's childhoods. But the dark reality is that if Pokemon Go proved anything, it's that you were never actually playing a game. The game was playing you. And if discovering the deeper, suspicious intentions behind game developers is your favorite type of content, check out the video I made on the game Skate.
Oh, we gotta check that out. We might check that out for another time in another video. Man, that's fucking crazy, yo. Pokemon Go is like straight up helping motherfuckers break down countries. You never know what you signing. I think he said that earlier, man. People just be like, he said it on Sunset in the back. You just start agreeing and shit. We are taking your soul after you beat the first level of this game, and we ain't reading none of that shit. But that is what it is. It is what it is. But it's still gonna be dropped on YouTube tomorrow later on. With that being said, peace out. See you at the next one.